Other unfinished business, just to report to you that we got paperwork yesterday, actually from ESD, starting the process for the $50,000 reimbursement for our planning work for the business complex at the airport. So they've got their public hearing coming up later this month where they approve that, and then we'll do the contracting, low reimbursement, and then wait for the check. Also got yesterday the contract from ESD for the $1.1 million award that we got in December, which is for actually building and developing the business complex. So that's
Okay. New business?
Dave, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
This past couple of months has been a challenge for me personally, and frankly, I could not have done it without the support of this board. You don't realize how good the people are that work with us until something like I just went through happens, and your support just meant more to me than I can ever tell you. You know, I'm in the twilight of my career, and in August I'll have 54 years of either owning or operating a business. This has been one of the best experiences of my life, one of the worst, and yet one of the best. And so I want to say a special thank you to you board members who have made it possible for me to continue on. And lastly, I want to recognize the absolute superb work of this wonderful staff that you guys have. 3 or 4 months ago, you asked me a question in a board meeting, what would happen if, you know, what is the transition plans and all that kind of stuff. And I told you then that we would move swiftly and just like hardly anything ever happened. And I think the proof of the pudding was Dave Zembeck and Lyle and Marsh and Peggy and Joy and all of the Jay and the rest of the gang here picked up the ball and ran with it very, very effectively. I was in no condition to know anything for the first month, and then later on, Mr. Converse and Mr. Zembeck were keeping me up to speed to some extent. I think mainly just to make me feel better. But I got to tell you
to
something.
the degree that Colleen would allow us.
Yeah. I just couldn't be more proud of this damn staff. You know, you look across the county and everybody, I suppose, thinks they have good people. We're really, truly blessed because these people are dedicated to doing the right thing for economic development. So I want to tell you, as an individual, no matter what happens in the future, you got good people, and I really mean that. So thank you for your support.
Now it's time to take a nap.
Wait a minute, I'm retired, it's nap time for me too. Don't give them the old nap time. It's raining, it's cold.
Anything else for the board?
Oh, I got a question. Dave or Mark, did you ever hear anything from Belgiasso? They made an announcement they're adding on a plant somewhere around Schenectady or Saratoga, I mean, did they ever?
Is that the cleaning?
It's
The
a,
cleaning company?
no,
Cheese
mozzarella cheese, make mozzarella.
Damn good cheese maker.
I didn't know if they
Provolone.
researched any areas other than that area or not. Must be not then. Okay.
Parmesan.
I wonder how we missed out on that.
I didn't
Was
even
it
hear
an
about it.
ESD thing, do you know, John?
I don't know. I just heard it the other day that they're doing a $25 million deal somewhere.
The Schenectady area, Schenectady whole area.
Is that done, that they were opening a plant?
I don't know if they bought a plant and they're remodeling one, or I don't know the details behind it, but I just heard it. I don't know if Jay had heard any wind of that or not, or got any wind of that.
To look into it.
Yeah, I wonder if that thing
It's
to
in
do,
Albany.
because isn't that where Fall J went, when
Yeah.
they were
Albany.
gonna,
It's only we
They had
can
an
compete.
open.
they were gonna go into
Open
the,
check.
Canada-Harry area, and remember the state kind of funded them to go.
There was an existing facility somewhere,
Yeah.
is that the one?
There was some-
Yeah.
Yeah. so
What was that?
Oh, no, the beach.
Beach Nut.
Beach
Yeah.
Nut, Beach Nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beach
In
Nut.
Burke Lane.
Yeah, and they're the ones that got moved over there, right, that's what it was.
Yeah, but there was a big dairy plant down that way too.
Yeah, that's, I wonder if that's the one they bought. They probably got a gift.
fit in nice to the ag park there,
highlighting
the
that
project.
craft plant, that upstate lot. My God, that's gotta be, I mean, to duplicate that plant would be $150 million. But to think Kraft would take that kind of a facility and say, we want out, it's for sale, the hole that creates for trying to balance the milk supply and product line and stuff is staggering. That's what worries me about some of these venture capitalist funds controlling the economy is they can, you know, on bad information at a board meeting and a whim, spin off highly viable.
I would have asked Jay if he had to leave. I've seen a bunch of stuff posted about Walmart getting into running fluid milk plant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
vertical integration, they have built, they've got.
Do they run their own farms too?
Yep, it's two 15,000 cow farms in Arizona. They built a manufacturing plant, state of the art. You familiar with
I
it?
just heard that,
In
they just heard that
Indiana,
as well.
Indiana, that milk from 3 states, all mega dairies,
Wow.
is under contract to supply the plant in Indiana. And it's, Walmart built the plant, it's all their in-house dairy. So you talk about vertical integration, they own the farm, they own the processing plant, and the sole provider for the Walmart chain.
I think they announced that to Dean Food or something, whoever's supplying milk now, that they were gonna shift over to their own operation.
It's amazing what you can do when you got money.
Well, it disrupts, it's really disrupting and somewhat gutting the whole industry, right, from production to manufacturing to
Well, what I read, it was affecting farms in Pennsylvania. I think you're right, what might have been Dean Foods that was canceling contracts for
Because Dean-
smaller farms in
Dean
Pennsylvania.
was providing that contract, had that contract for Walmart. Dean, before this plant was built, was supposed to go online in a couple of weeks. That, Dean was handling that supply. So now it's all in-house, and they spun the supply contract off with Dean, and now Dean has dumped 200 dairies. And there's no place for them to go. Nobody wants them because there's surplus of milk. Not in the Northeast, but in the West. Yeah, so there's gonna be, unless those 200 farms, which were viable farms.
So Walmart's gonna ship milk all the way up?
I'm not sure, I
Are
don't
they-
think that model is going to, work itself into New England market. I think it's points Indiana south, probably the west and the south, California and the south. I don't think it's moving toward New England. But the next step is to do one for New England.
But they can acquire the farms, the land and all that, the cows to supply, and that's cheaper than using local farms to supply their milk.
It's that vertical integration of an industry, yeah, control it right from start to finish. The chicken industry went that way 10 years ago, the hog industry, that's all it is, contract grow. You know, all the pork you see in the system today is under contract. They'll help you build the finishing houses, 2,000 pigs. They'll help you, they'll give you the money to stock it, and it's at the end of the year, you've got so much ahead for every hog that came out of there, which is cost plus. They evaluate everything on your financial sheet, they evaluate every input you put into that place constantly on a monthly basis, and then they will offer you whatever,
Less.
10%.
Less.
Yeah, 10%
You're
more
never
than your
low enough.
cost.
Never low enough. Well, it's all about cost control.
It's going on right now in the organic market. Horizon is going out, new wave of contract, we've lost pay price in the organic, which was the saving grace, you know, going from conventional, as far as trying to continue another generation of viability on a farm. It's working its way into the organic market. Same thing's going on there. They're doing the same thing. In fact, Walmart's doing the same thing with Horizon, with two 15,000 cow farms in the same part of the world, Arizona and Colorado, under the Horizon labeling brand. So now they're taking that model, it's coming right here to New England. I was in a meeting yesterday in Governor, 20 producers. not Horizon, but a couple of them that left Horizon. Horizon's contracts right now that they're signing for probably a 2-year, it's the new contract, it's fill in the lines. It used to be base price, so much, premium so much, and then components you add to this, so the base price would be maybe $26, and there'd be $5 or $6 on top of that, that would be applicable to different farms. Now,
It's interesting, we've been approached by several businesses now that they want to have 180-day terms.
yeah,
So basically, they want the product, they want it sold before they pay us. It's like
Yeah.
180-day terms
Yeah.
is what they're asking.
yeah.
That's where Kraft has been
Yeah,
thinking
they're
to us.
120, I think they're at 120 now or something like that.
Yeah, and I think they went to 150.
But
crazy.
that model
Yeah, it's
is
crazy.
cost. They're going to evaluate your cost. They're taking the same model, working it right into the organic. They're gonna review all your financials. This is Horizon, this isn't the other people. But I'm waiting to see if it's gonna be adaptable or if there's gonna be a line in the sand and other people don't go with it. But they're evaluating every farm, share us your cost, and we'll give you $1.50 more than what it cost you to produce. So everybody's contract up and down the road is gonna have a different amount written into it, all right? And at the bottom, the last clause of the contract is a non-disclosure clause, which you are not to share this information with your neighbor.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Wow.
Does it cost $130,000 to get this non-disclosure agreement signed?
Yeah, right. It's like,
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Right.
We stand adjourned.
So when they look at it, the Walmart operation, and they establish the milk prices. Milk prices still, they have fees.
Yes, a little slow going.